Thank you for following.
In the digital night is a guiding light. Tiberius with the hackers inside. Streaming live on Cyber Mentoring Monday. Teaching the novices, leading the way. He's a cyber mentor, hacking through the storm with auto recon. He's transforming the norm for the OSCP. He's the key. Tiberius, the legend we all want to be. With each line of code, he breaks the chains. In the cyber world where he reigns. Privilege escalation, not one but two courses. Empowering hackers with unstoppable forces. He's a cyber mentor in the virtual fight. Lighting up the network, making the future bright. For the OSCP, he's the guy. With Tiberius, we're on the winning side. Captain March, try hack me. He's on the trail. One swinger's web academy. He never fails. Solving boxes, cracking codes with each tale. Tiberius, the hacker who will prevail. He's a cyber mentor, the hacker's dream. With auto recon, he's leading the supreme for the OSCP. He's the flame Tiberius, forever etched in the Hall of Fame. In the realm of fights, he's a hero we are playing. Tiberius, an ethical hacker with a name. Echoes in the cyberspace, loud and clear. For every aspiring hacker, he's the pioneer. He's a cyber mentor, spawning a digital beat. With auto recon, his legacy's unique. Guiding through SCP, a beacon so bright. Tiberius, the hacker's light. In the cyber realm, he's the eternal flame. Carving past the glory in the hacking game.
All right. I can hear myself. Hang on. That's not good. Oh, what did I fuck up? There we go. Better. Okay, you can all hear me, hopefully. Let's put some music on. Actual music, not AI music. There we go. That is better. Hopefully you can hear that music. Yes, coming through. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Nano J, thank you for the 36 individual bits. Very much appreciated. Yeah, that was AI music. I always start the stream with a bit of AI music. We should really make... I feel like... Arubius, thank you for the Prime sub.
Time to
Welcome
use
back.
Prime again.
How was your weekend? I feel like we should do like a music creation stream. I can show you the quote unquote process, because it is a process. Like the AI. I don't just like tell ChatGPT, hey, write some lyrics, and I just give it to Suno, and Suno generates a song perfectly every time. No, that actually never happens.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for the thank you for giving me your channel point, your well-earned channel points, to play that sound effect. Yeah, so they the process, it's not that big of a process. Like compared to actually having talent and making music, it's not a process at all. but it's a little bit of a process. Having to, I generally generate 2 verses or choruses, stanzas or whatever at a time, and then in Suno you can like join them together. Anyway, but yeah, we should probably do that sometime. I think that'd be fun. Like get chat to generate some ideas for music, and then we'll just spend a stream just fucking around generating music. I think that would be fun. You're still on your weekend. Took a day off to make it a 5-day. So I probably should have taken Friday off. I didn't. That would have been a smart thing to do. But I obviously had Thursday off because, freedom. And then I went back to work on Friday, and then I had the weekend. But yes. So this week, I'm on a test, but the test is an interesting test. Obviously can't disclose many details about it, but suffice to say, I am free for streaming. So that's good. But yes, today we are gonna. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Today, I don't want to do any. I don't want to do any boxes. I don't want to. That's like boring. Let's change it up. What we'll do, and I tweeted about this earlier. And if you aren't following me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter. All right, let me do exclamation point. What was it? Socials. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look, there's all my Twitter. All my socials, actually. Go follow me on all my social medias. Twitter's the best one. But what I posted this morning is, hey, send me your redacted resumes, CVs, if you're from the UK, and I will review them. And so that's what we're going to do. Obviously, we'll start off with marbles, as we always do. We're going to start off with some marbles. But then we will review. I have 6 resumes to review. So yes. And given that this is popular, I still have people offering me resumes. We'll definitely do this again. We may even do it next week. We'll definitely do it again because it seems like it's a very popular thing. So I will also be sharing my redacted resume. Some of you have seen it before. If you watch Al Hazred, he did a resume review a few months ago, and he reviewed my resume. I actually made some improvements based on his feedback. I always think it's good. There's no such thing as a perfect resume. And I am nowhere near claiming that my resume is like perfect or like this is exactly what you should do. Resume should be fluid and adaptable. However, I have some experience in making hiring decisions, so I know what to look for in a resume, and I know how a resume reads. Also, my resume has also got me quite a few jobs, so that's always good, right? Anyway, let's do marbles. Because that's what we do on the stream. We're going to do... Oh, is this a new map? I don't know. I don't think I've seen this map before. Screw it. We're going to do this one. Show your resume to everyone who will look. Exactly. Even show it to people who won't look as well. Oh, hang on. Why is the game capture not working? Oh, because it's wanting to do raft. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, I was streaming raft on the weekend. Exclamation point play in chat if you're on Twitch to play. Unfortunately, this is a Twitch-only game. However, Twitch is the best streaming platform in the world, so just, go do it. Go join Twitch. So, yeah. I played Raft with Tracky Pacer, Helen Tor, and John Hammond. John Hammond actually joined us for about an hour, which was a lot of fun. I made some shorts. They're on my TikTok. Also, I posted them on Twitter. But there's some fun shorts. If you want to see more content, I think what we're trying to do is we're not like starting in InfoSec games or InfoSec play. That's the problem. We can call it InfoSec gaming, but the thing is, Trackit technically isn't InfoSec. She's I think she's like she's accepted that we've basically adopted her. Like so many tech creators just like get adopted by the cybersecurity community, and Trackit is definitely one of them. Like Trackit has absolutely nothing to do with cyber security, right? Absolutely nothing.
Following.
She is a network engineer for literal rockets. She doesn't do cybersecurity. However, she gets dragged into all the cybersecurity stuff because she's pretty awesome. So it's like we call it InfoSec games, we call it cybersecurity game. I guess we can call it like tech games, tech gaming. I don't know, whatever. I think we want to do some more of this because it all started when Ali did the Among Us stuff like a month or so ago. Yeah, it was last month, right? Yeah. I feel like we should do more because it's just fun. Just streaming, messing around, playing games with some of your favorite creators in the community. Also getting some new people on board. I feel like it's a nice way to introduce, new people in the community. So, hey, maybe we'll do that. All right, we're going to do a countdown. And yes. Did John use Juan's hammock? He did. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I have a photo. Let me go to my... I've still got time. Okay, here's the photo. And screen. There's John Hammond. See, that's his name. Laying in Juan hammock. Perfect. No notes. If you don't know what the Juan hammock thing is, I've heard it from. I'm probably retelling the story, but basically, if you don't know, I'm a member of a hacking group, hacking collective, hacking friends. I don't know what you want to call this. Called OnlyFeet. It's obviously a pun. Luna is in first place. All right. I believe, Luna, we have your CV, resume, whatever. Oh, goodness. What's happening? Manicus in the lead again. All right, if Manicus wins, by the way, we will do a giveaway. Same if I win. So, yes, Hacking Syndicate, OnlyFeet, whatever you want to call it. We're a group of hackers / friends who have a silly name, participate in CTFs, actually do surprisingly well in CTFs. Our CTF group is actually pretty damn good. So, yeah. He's British. Sorry, buddy. Hope you get better. Go away, Al. Alright. Anyway, so apparently, somebody in the group, met John Hammond at a con, didn't realize he was famous, took a picture with him, shared it on the server, and was told it was John Hammond, and then later said something like, "Oh, I met that Juan Hammock guy." And from that moment on, John is forever known in the OnlyFeet Discord server as Juan Hammock. It was Squirmy, okay, right. And John himself knows about Juan Hammock. So John is perfectly aware that he's called Juan Hammock, and bless him, because John is such a nice guy, he has lent into the Juan Hammock thing. So he is well aware and is fully on board with being Juan Hammock. Okay. So well done, Rorosek. I died. Great. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to do some resume. Did I miss any people chatting? Okay, good. All right. I'm reviewing resumes. We have, yeah, I've got the resumes already, so it's not going to be, I have enough resumes. Okay? No more resume. If this is a popular stream, which it seems to be, we'll do another resume review. Maybe next week. Okay. This is my resume. Redacted, obviously. I redacted anything that I feel is non-public information. So obviously, my actual name would go up here, not Tiberius, but, whatever. So, And again, I'm not saying that this is the perfect way of doing things. This is just a resume that I have used for various years, and it's gotten me plenty of jobs. I always start off with a personal statement. All right, this is... What the heck? Go away. I don't know what I did. Anyway, it's like a personal statement. It's very simple. A couple of sentences. Basically just, describing who I am. And, like this, I feel like a lot of these days there aren't opportunities to do a cover letter, right? So a lot of processes these days are very highly automated. They're all just online. You just upload a resume, you fill out a form. There isn't like a cover letter feature. If there's a cover letter, then obviously do a cover letter. I feel like having a little paragraph at the top here is a good idea in lieu of a cover letter as well. Anyway, then I list my professional experience. Now, there are two lines of thinking when it comes to this kind of section. And those, there's nothing wrong with either, right? They're both viable. It's basically prose versus bullet points. As you can tell, I am a prose person, all right? I prefer writing out a paragraph, all right, for not each role, but the last few roles that I deem important, okay? Other people prefer to do bullet points, which is fine. I personally think with a resume, saving space is often quite important. So I tend to prefer just having paragraphs here because you can fit more stuff in them. Okay? But yeah, that's all. Obviously, we have the location, whether it was remote or not, the job title, and the dates. And then literally for these, like, this is actually what I have in my... I don't have some US company and some UK company. But other than that, that's pretty much what I have here. Because these roles are so old now. Like, this is back in, 2018 to 2021. So, like, honestly, these three most recent roles are fine. Like, if they want to know what I did here, I can tell them. You don't need to write absolutely every single role you had, especially if some of them are freaking 10 years old. Okay? But this... At some point, I may even remove, this company, because it may just become 2016 is completely irrelevant. Then I have certs. Again, if you don't have certs, it's fine, but I just list them like this. Education. So I've actually made this section a little smaller. I used to list like specific modules. I don't feel like that's necessary anymore. But there we go. I got 2 degrees. Talks I put in as a new section. So basically, these are all the talks I've done. Projects and interest. This is an Al Hazred recommendation, which I absolutely agree with him for. I should have put... There appears to be a typo. Where was the typo? Royal Hallway should be spelled Hogwarts. That is correct. Let me... Do I have to show people my... If you haven't seen my university... Here's my university. Object all. Alright. There's my university. Yes, it's Hogwarts. Deal with it. Alright. Anyway. So yeah. This is a... Al Hazard recommended this when he reviewed my resume a few months ago. He was like, dude, like, where are your GitHub links? And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So I've added my GitHub links. So basically, I got Auto Recon, I got my copier extension, Dynamic DTD. I have links to my privilege escalation courses because they're cool as well, just to talk about. I have some stuff about, I like doing education, mentoring, some extracurricular crap, some CVEs, obviously. Some awards I got back in the day, and then just a stupid list of skills. Alright, and that's, boring. But I keep it to 2 pages. I recommend resume should be 2 pages. Max, to be honest. The thing about a 3-page resume is I feel like a lot of people... Like, a 2-page resume is pretty easy to read. A 3... If you go any further than 2, it kind of just gets a little boring, and I feel like people lose interest. I also feel like there's just nobody really needs that much information on a resume. Like, there's stuff you can talk about during the job interview, to be honest. But yeah. God. No, I don't want to update you, Windows. You will stay non-updated. All right, let's have a look at this one. So I'm going in the order that they sent me. They were all self-redacted by the people who sent them. All right, that's because I don't want to be blamed. Like, some people like message me saying, "Hey, I can't redact it now. Can you redact it?" I'm like, I really don't want to, because if I mess up and don't like miss something that I should have redacted, firstly, that's awful, right? Because I don't want to dox people, but also I just feel bad. I feel really bad, like missing something and accidentally doxing someone. So like the risk, no. If like you redact your own crap. Okay. So obviously, yeah, we've got the name. I presume this is the phone number up there. You don't necessarily need phone numbers. Like, this is fine. I got really no comments about this. Linking to GitHub, your GitHub profile, your LinkedIn is fine as well. Email is great. Summary. All right, cybersecurity software engineer with a proficient background in software development, automation, and penetration testing. Safeguarding digital assets and ensuring a secure infrastructure through leveraging technical expertise, problem-solving skills, and a vigilant, curious mind to identify and neutralize both threats and weaknesses. Okay, this last sentence is quite long. Always try and read your resume back, like out loud, because I feel like that helps. You could probably make this into 2 sentences. Absolutely love the buzzword bingo that's going on here. Buzzword bingo, perfect. High scores for that. Sticking a bunch of nice buzzwordy words is great. Yeah, this is a good summary. I like this summary. I feel like the second sentence is quite a run-on sentence in a way. It's just getting a little too long. Mostly because you've got so many adjectives in there. And again, the adjectives are fine, but it could probably be separated. Showing a try-hack-me link on a resume, good or bad? It depends. It really depends. Like, I feel like, yeah, I don't think there's anything necessarily bad about it. I don't know if there's anything good that comes from it. Is it a run-on if it's not a sentence? I don't know. Now I'm having an existential crisis. I think it doesn't read well to me. It just goes on too long for a sentence. And again, these are all my opinions. I'm not saying my opinions are necessarily 100% correct. Okay. Okay, we've got the experience section. This is great. First impression specialist at a company. Start date, city, state, fine. Enhanced client retention and satisfaction, driving over 67% increase in sales by optimizing CRM tools for a client base of over 2,000, fostering strong relationships and exceptional customer service. So, I guess my one question here would be if this, obviously this is the most recent, I imagine, whether this was a software engineering role, or a sales-focused role? It seems like a customer-facing sales-focused role. Maybe that is. You could probably explain a little more here, especially since your second job has so many bullet points. This might be too many bullet points. And here's my problem with bullet points. Is bullet points ideally should be quite short. These bullet points are all quite long. And I feel like the whole point of bullet points is to be quick and snappy. And that's why I don't like bullet points. Because I feel like on a resume, especially if you're like explaining what your role was, it's just easier to just do it in prose. That's an interesting job title. I've never heard of it. So, I mean, that's the thing. Job titles are honestly quite meaningless, especially in tech. There's just too many. So, like, that's the thing. I mean, do I have a good example? yeah, like penetration tester, and then at White Oak I was still a penetration tester, but actually I was a staff specialist threat emulation. Okay? At TCM I was a principal penetration tester. At NetSpy I'm a principal security consultant. All right? These all are the same job. Okay? So it's like companies love making up new roles, but this feels like a sort of a customer-facing, maybe a customer-facing dev role. I don't know. It's not exactly clear. I would definitely add some more bullet points here, or just to explain. So, just trying to quick skim read this section.
Thank you for following.
Yeah. I feel like... I honestly feel like these could be probably made a little bit shorter. Or converted into a nice paragraph explaining it. Again, though, I'm not a software engineer, so I may be judging this entirely wrong. Okay? But for me, these bullet points just seem overly long to be bullet points. Right? And the same with these, like secured remote access and streamlined communication protocols for over 3 hospitals and 3 clinics by establishing Cisco phone systems with unified communication software, enhancing access controls and increase reliability. Like, yeah, I feel like 3 to 5 is nice, but again, bullet points. Like, I feel like bullet not only refers to this thing, but also it should be quick. Right? A bullet point to me should be shorter than a sentence. Shorter than a standard sentence. Whereas these are just sentences that have been placed as bullet points. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong, chat? I don't know. Let me know in chat if you think. Okay. For sure, if you only have one bullet point, was that here as well? I probably should have mentioned this. Like, one bullet point doesn't really make any sense. Like, what's the point of having a bullet point if there's only one of them? So, like here, there should be more than one bullet point. And if you aren't using more than one bullet, like this is a paragraph at this point. Like this is literally a paragraph. I know it's only one sentence, but it's 2.5 lines. So I feel like this could be, this could honestly just be a description at this point. You don't need bullet points for this. Also, this is a project. This is probably a personal project, but it's reading like it's a job. So that's kind of weird, I think. Like, just describe what the Discord message relay bot does. You know? Like, you don't need, like, for a personal home lab and router, you do not need to use the word enhanced network capabilities. Like, you just need to describe what you did. Like, you basically you deployed multiple virtual machines and you function, you create a personal home lab. Like these kind of buzzwords, I don't think make any sense in a personal project section. Right? Especially not using enhanced 3 times here like this. Like if you are gonna do this, open a thesaurus and find another word for enhanced. Okay, technical skills, certificates, and education. So I would, and this is another thing, this is only a 1-page resume. This could definitely be a 2-page resume, very easily. Okay, it feels to me very cramped right now. Like everything is kind of squished together. You could definitely go for a 1.5 line height, right? And instantly that would take you to, to like 1.5 pages probably. But also, like, you could add on these when you got them. Right? When did you get this? What does it have an expiry date? Okay. So you could add when you got all these. Skill set. I don't know if I would call these skills. These are just things you... These are like tools, you know. Like, you could add like a tools section or something, I guess. What do I do in mine? I probably do skills, don't I? I'm like an idiot now. No, I just have penetration tested. So you could like have... You could have like tools that you are, you know, or you could branch this out, because like honestly, Git and Burp Suite don't belong in the same conversation as Windows and Mac OS and iOS and Android. Like you could have hey, these are the operating systems I'm familiar with. All right, these are the tools I use. These are the tools I use, right? Languages, I would definitely, even though it's kind of stupid, right? I would definitely put programming languages here. Because you see languages on a resume, and I guarantee someone is going to be like, oh, what foreign languages do they know? I would definitely specify these as programming. Education, I don't know if I agree with education being all the way down here. I think I would put it after experience. I think that's where I put it on mine. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's just another thing. Hey, this guy has like a lot of companies that require a degree are going to look for that. So the fact, like, it's honestly, it could be as important as experience, if not just slightly afterwards. So I would put it here. Okay, but I would definitely this section can definitely be expanded. Also, another thing I've just noticed, you have technical skills, certificates, education, and then you have education. Okay, it's like simple stuff like this. This makes no sense. If you're going to put education here, put it here. If you're going to put it down here, remove education there. That needs to be removed. Okay, but you could probably separate these out. So you could have an entire, like, you've got enough certificates here that you could make this an entire section on its own, like I have, right? So that's what I would say for this one. Overall, pretty good. I just think, honestly, it could be... like, I feel like they've tried to force it into one page, and you can do 2 pages. 2 pages is fine. Okay? BA, like, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, completely meaningless. Just completely meaningless. It's like job titles. Just ignore it. A BA and a BSc are identical. They mean the exact same thing. They're just stupid, old, ancient terms that haven't been updated. All right. Yeah. So I feel like my main advice is obviously make this longer. Like, this could be a longer resume. And I know I've said make it shorter, like, you know, compact these. But the fact is, you can make this longer via formatting, and it'll actually be an easier read. Okay. I don't actually remember whose this was. But yeah. Yeah, and just, you know, just simple stuff, right? So simple stuff like, you know, not having education twice, right? You know, making sure if you are going to use bullet points, have at least 2. Don't just have 1 bullet point on its own. And treat them like bullet points. This is too long for a bullet point. I would say, honestly, like these 2 here, this one and this one are probably okay in terms of length, or maybe these 3 maybe. I don't know. These 2 are just getting quite long. I feel like this one definitely too long. Like, I feel like you could probably split this into 2 if you needed to. All right. Because you could mention the 67% increase in sales. You can also mention that you fostered strong relationships and exceptional customer service. And I mean, to be honest, this could be 3. This could be enhanced client retention and satisfaction. This could be drove over 67% increase in sales by optimizing CRM tools. And this could be fostering strong relationships and exceptional. This could be 3 bullet points right there. And yet they're all like crammed into one for some reason. Okay. Some jobs ask for a Bachelor of Science. I mean, it's just it's silly. Like, I would argue, like, if they do, they just put it there because, you know, people assume Bachelor of Science is they assume all computer science or related subjects go under the BSc heading, and they don't. So trust me, nobody is who puts like, oh, must have a Bachelor of Science. Nobody puts that on a job application. Will balk at seeing a Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science. Literally nobody. And if they do, they shouldn't work in HR. Okay. All right, moving on. Okay, this was Jude's resume. Okay, so I'm assuming they redacted their name entirely, even though they put it in the file name. But obviously your name should be at the top here. I don't know if they sent me the name, but anyway. So name should always be at the top. If there's anything that should be at the top of a resume, like this stuff, you've noticed I don't have any of this on mine. Alright, I just have my name. That's mostly because these days they know exactly what your email address is because you filled it out on a form somewhere. If they want my mobile, they can have my mobile. I've linked to my GitHub down here, right? And if they want to find me on LinkedIn, they can find me on LinkedIn. Although they won't find me on LinkedIn because my only LinkedIn is my my creator LinkedIn, so I don't use LinkedIn. But yeah, I would say at a bare minimum have your name. Like that should obviously be there, because you don't know how. Like even though the name is in the file name here, you don't actually know how. What was I gonna say? You don't know if the system has renamed the resume, right? So always have your name at the top of the resume. Okay, education being first is a weird choice, I would say. So obviously what's missing here is the little summary. Again, this is 1 page, so this could easily be 2. Starting with a summary is always a good thing. Having education and technical skills first is definitely a choice. I probably don't agree with it. I think experience should be first. Especially if you have experience, right? If you actually have experience, then experience being first is kind of important. Like, a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity is great, but a lot of the time, this is just like to tick a box. Whereas, I'm more interested in your actual experience. Okay? I just realized the chat is kind of taking up some of the room here. Let's minimize that as well. Is that better? There we go. I can probably actually just take that. There we go. Hooray! Alright, we got it. We figured it out, chat. Okay, but let's start off. Education, Bachelor of Science, Cybersecurity. May 2025, I assume that's when... Oh, wait, so you haven't got it yet. Okay, so I would definitely put the start date. So put your start date. Don't put an end date, put present, and then if you want to, you can put under here, like, expected graduation date. Okay? So if you haven't got something yet, you can put, like, to present, like on mine. I have the actual date of graduation here, right? But if you aren't, put present, like I do here. And then you can put a little thing saying, hey, I'm still working on this, right? Expected graduation date. State University, that's fine. Security plus certified. I don't know why this is doing here, up in education. this should probably be in a separate section for certs. Okay, if you have your Security Plus. Education generally, and I guess it kind of is kind of stupid, but education generally is reserved for degrees, right? But yeah, if you have a Security Plus cert, I would definitely put it in a separate section. Also, it kind of blends in. It looks like you did the Security Plus as part of the bachelor's. Maybe you did, which is fine. It just looks a bit odd. Like, the way this reads is you did a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity at this university, and as part of that, you were Security Plus certified. Whereas this should honestly be treated differently. Okay, technical skills. Programming and operating systems. Linux, Bash, CLI. I don't know if I would put CLI there. That's basically just Bash, right? Windows, Python, PowerShell. Okay. I would maybe separate programming and operating systems, or if you're going to do bunch the... Like, you've got a mixture here. I would put the programming languages first and then the operating systems. I wouldn't put CLI there. I don't know why. Like, if you know Bash, I assume... Unless you're, like, talking about you actually can do terminal stuff. You could even put, like, competent with terminal. Okay. Services and infrastructure, Microsoft 365, hardware and software troubleshooting, Azure, Type 1 virtualization, Ansible, okay. That's all good. Experience. Honeywell Aerospace, Plymouth, Minnesota, Systems Administrator Contractor. Yeah, so again, like you don't necessarily need to put if you're a contractor or not. I used to put like full... Do I still do that? No, I don't. I used to put like full-time and stuff on that. You really don't need to anymore. But if you feel like putting a contractor is a good thing again, that's fine. Again, we have the bullet points that shouldn't be bullet points. Especially if you have a bullet point and you start a new sentence in your bullet point, that's a key indicator that you probably shouldn't be using bullet points, or you should be trying to compact your bullet points. Okay. And question whether you need to express as much data as you are. Okay. Like, that's honestly my main thing, is try and compress stuff down. All right. You'll actually find if you compress stuff down, not only does the resume read better, but you can actually fit more stuff in the resume, especially if you're trying to hit that 2 pages. Okay. Received real-time instructions over a Teams call, executed CLI commands to bring service back online, effectively reducing network downtime to 5 hours. This is TMI. This is a classic case of TMI. All right? Honestly, that sounds like a real pain in the ass, and I understand maybe why you put it there. Especially, I'm so sorry you had to deal with Teams. All right, there's F's in chat for Jude, who had to deal with Microsoft Teams. This is just too much. This doesn't need to be there. You could actually just take out from. So you could basically delete this this full stop, right? Period or whatever, and all the way. Oh, I can't do it. So from online all the way to this period here. Okay. Can I do it with shift? No. So basically, the new bullet point would be, assisted the network team during an on-call server outage, effectively reducing network downtime to 5 hours. Perfect. Lovely. Don't need to know this other bullshit. Okay? Contributed to a research lab's Windows 7 to 10 upgrade by proactively identifying and addressing potential issues, ensuring a smooth transition. Again, like, what research lab? Doesn't really care. I don't really. This is irrelevant. You could easily compact this bullet point down into, like, ensured a smooth transition from Windows 7 to Windows 10 by proactively identifying and addressing potential issues. Like, very simple. Site-wide MFA policy implementation of demos and bi-monthly training for 10 plus employees. Monthly surveys showed a positive learning impact for an average of 3. Like, this is irrelevant. Like, this doesn't really... This is meaningless. Right? If you wanna include it as a success story, you could put successfully. I don't know. You can just add the word successfully to the start here. Medtronic. Okay. So you worked here twice. So, oh, here we go. The date. Sorry, yes. I think somebody mentioned in chat. Was it Cyberduck? Yeah. No date here. If you worked at a place twice, I think the general rule is... This is... Okay, yeah. This is a... There are two ways of doing it. There are literally including it twice. And potentially... in the... So obviously this is in reverse order from the most recent. So if this was the more recent one here, and it happened... Actually, I'm confused now. So yeah, is there like a... Did this happen? This is confusing because you now have a gap of from 2016 to 2018 where I have no idea what you were doing. And maybe you were unemployed, maybe you were doing this, I don't know. There is something odd. And that's it's not bad. Like, if there is a gap, that's fine. Like, people take a year off. All right, some people do take a year off. Maybe you were just, you know, maybe you had some stuff going on in your life. You took a year off. That's fine, and you don't need to explain that. It just, I think it would work better if you had two separate things instead of having this. I assume as well that you were an intern for this bit and then were a full-time employee for this bit, maybe? Like, being an intern twice? I don't know. It's confusing. If you have multiple jobs at the same company over time, do what I do. Okay, so here we go. This is the start of my career. I was a junior pen tester from June 2012 to March 2013. Then I became a penetration tester from 2013 to March 2014. Then I got a promotion to senior pen tester 2014 to 2016. And then I joined another company. Okay? That's how you do this. You can show job growth like this. Okay? And I did it here for White Oak, so I had a staff specialist role, my most recent role there, and I read this. I wrote this for that, and then when I joined, I was technically a senior specialist. Okay? So there you go. So yeah, this just reads weird. I mean, I think I would have to know more about how, like, what this actual role was and how it all worked out. Looks like a summer internship. I mean, it's not, because it's multiple years. It goes from August 2015 to 2016. Like, a summer internship would usually be, what, like June to September, maybe? Don't I have the OSWE? No. The OSWE is a code review exam, and I hate code review, so I don't want to do the OSWE. I also don't really want to give OffSec any more money. Especially because they called me once trying to get more money from me, and I'm like, no. No, OSWE is not an exam that I would put any kind of credit towards for if you want to be a web app pen tester. Like I've said before, the amount of web app pen tests I've done where the customer has given me the code, I can count on one hand. Okay? OSWE is honestly a completely nonsensical exam for web app pen testers. If you are doing code review, I've heard it's a very good exam. Okay? I've heard the course is very good if you actually care about code review, but ultimately, a lot of the stuff they teach is not related to web app pen testing at all. What web app pen testing cert do you recommend? The Portswigger one, for sure. That's got a lot of good reviews. I believe Hack the Box have released one as well. And TCM have also released one. I have not taken the TCM one. Arubius says it's good. Arubius is in chat. I heard very good things about the Hack the Box one specifically and the Portsmouth one. Okay, right. Project should be projects. Yeah. Project should be projects. Experience itself is plural. It's one of those words which can be plural and singular, but projects for multiple stuff. Okay, let's just see here. That's fine. So, here's the thing. You know how to. The person who did this knows how to do bullet points. These are all marvelous bullet points. A+ bullet points here. So what you should do is take these bullet points and what you've done with these bullet points and apply them to here. Right? Look at all these bullet points. Lovely. They briefly explain and they give just enough information without being overbearing. Okay? So all these bullet points are great. The only comment I would have, obviously, try and capitalize stuff, right? Azure has capital A. VMs, like this, all right, technically is spelled capital V, capital M, lowercase s, all right? I know it might look weird, but VM stands for something, all right? It's an initialism, therefore it should be capitalized for capital V for virtual and capital M for machine, all right? Just like you've done here. You wouldn't spell seam or sim lowercase. Right? Okay. I would put a space between the... I get... This is... I should probably say this at the start. I'm going to be extremely nitpicky because I feel like, these are all important changes. You can disagree with me if you want. Yeah. You might... I'm guessing this means next generation firewall. Is this a term or a brand name? If it's a term, you could probably explain it, or you could just say implemented OPN sense. You don't really need to use this, I guess. My boss would point out Azure VMs versus I mean, it doesn't even matter what your boss would do. I'm saying there is only one correct way of writing it. And it's capital A, capital V, capital M. Anyone who says otherwise is just wrong. Okay. Collected Docker logs running segmented VMs to cluster and using a 0. Okay. Like, you might want to explain some of these projects a bit more. Like, creating setting up a sim in your home lab, fine. Implementing open like this, like what was the point of doing this? What were you aiming to gain from this? You could probably also VMs again. Design segmented network architecture with firewalls and ACLs, conducting regular security audits and documentation. Okay, cool. He's British. He invented words, so you can trust him. Exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah. You could definitely boost the technical skills section. Okay? So much stuff can be skills. Because ultimately, look what you've done. You've mentioned stuff in your project section that aren't skills. Like, the fact is, you have experience with presumably different SIMs. Okay? You have IDS and IPS experience. You have experience with next generation firewalls. You have experience with Docker. Okay? You have experience with network segmentation and stuff. But none of that's up here. Okay? So, for this one, obviously needs some work. You could definitely as well... Like, you could explain what you did in your Bachelor of Science Cybersecurity. You could just write a little bit about what courses you took. Well, any courses relevant to the job you're applying to. Obviously, add a summary. Okay. Reorganize. Experience should come first, then probably education. Then after that, honestly, it's up to you. But you could easily make this 2 pages while restructuring, making these shorter, okay, and just adding more information to it. Okay. And obviously sorting out what I don't know what you did here. Like, obviously there's probably a story, but I would definitely work on this and try and figure out a better way. Maybe this is the best way to put it. I don't know. I don't know what happened between 2016 and 2018, whether you had a job or not. Whether you were an intern for both of these. If you were, then I guess it's okay. It just reads a little odd. If you weren't, I would definitely separate them out. Okay, moving on. Here we go. All right, now we got our friend in chat, White Cyberduck, who decided not to redact anything. I'm not going to roast you. It's not about roasting. Okay. We got our friend White Cyberduck. Work experience. Again, missing a nice summary. Is this 1 page or 2? This is 2 pages. Okay. Well, ultimately points for 2 pages. I would definitely add a summary. And that's the thing I should have pointed out before. Like, you can honestly have your resume should be very fluid and adaptable. If you're applying to 2 different jobs, right, you can definitely tweak your resume for both of those. Right? There's no rule that you have to have one resume and you send it to every single job. Okay? If you are applying to, for example, a junior pen tester position, and you're also applying to like a SOC role or something, just because you're trying to get into the cybersecurity industry, you can definitely tweak your resume and send 2 different resumes to both of those jobs. All right? There are no laws about resumes. Okay? You're not breaking any rules by doing that. If you want to use the one I sent you previously, you can. Trust me, we're an hour into this stream. We've only done 2 resumes, okay, and I've got 4 to do. We will definitely do this again, though. It seems very popular. I got a lot of responses on Twitter. I'm just gonna blow my nose actually, because I feel like I have something that I need to get out, but maybe not. I don't know. I had a sneezing fit like before I started, and I feel like I'm just gonna sneeze again at some point. All right. Anyway, penetration tester at Black Hills Information Security, July 2023 to present. Performs comprehensive web application, external and internal network, and assumed compromise assessments utilizing tools such as Kali Linux, Nmap, Burp Suite, and the Mesozoic framework. That's okay for a bullet point. It's a little long for what I would want, but I think it's okay. It kind of, I would struggle getting that. You might want to, you could probably make this a separate bullet point. Authors high quality penetration test reports that include findings and their impacts, actionable recommendations, and a narrative methodology. Okay, that's a good bullet point. Independently collaborates with clients to understand their unique security requirements and tailors the assessments to meet their specific business needs. Lovely, perfect, lovely. These 2 bullet points, no notes. These are great. These are what I'm talking about. Very, very short, right? Short and to the point. Okay? Could you make it a little shorter? Maybe, but ultimately I think they're fine. But they don't seem to run on, and they give exactly what the information that you need. First person I've heard mentioning having more than 1 page is a good thing. Yeah, 2 pages is fine. I don't understand why people think you need like 1 page is what you need. That's just silly talk. Like, I don't know. The first page should definitely include like your work experience and education and stuff, but like, there's no reason why a resume shouldn't be 2 pages. Anything more than 2 pages, and it gets ridiculous. Okay, like I've seen multiple, like several pages, and it's just silly. Nobody's reading that. Resumes are definitely subjective. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I think it's unfair to try and force people to put their to try and sell themselves with one page, and also make it look nice. Like, that's the thing. The way a resume looks and reads is extremely important. Okay, so teaching assistant at the Sounds Institute, February 2023 to present. Okay, so still working there. Fosters a positive learning environment by actively engaging with students, answering questions, troubleshooting issues, sharing resources, and facilitating discussions. Okay. Nominated for the position for demonstrating a high level of proficiency in information security concepts, tools, and techniques alongside excellent communication skills. Okay. These are like... These are decent. I think what I'm getting tripped up on is the font size. Yeah, the font size you've used is slightly bigger here. So these, even though they look longer, potentially, I think they are technically shorter than the ones we had back here. So I think those are fine. Undertook. Okay, so what's this? Okay. Cyber Associate undertook numerous engagements, including creating customized cyber threat exercises, executing comprehensive direct reviews, producing insurance-focused coverage around security. That may be a little long. Especially since, yeah, it goes all the way down here, actually. This probably could be 2. To be honest. Contributed to the development of new service offerings, including adversarial simulation, the rapid instance response plan, and the monthly news roundup newsletter. If these are like these seem like brand names, you probably don't need to include the brand names. Like you don't need to include this. You could probably just call it a monthly newsletter, right? Like, no, you don't really need to know. Like, yeah, adversarial simulation is a sort of like, yeah, that makes sense. But like the monthly news roundup newsletter, just call it a monthly newsletter. You don't need a name there, unless it's extremely important. Like if you like, I once got a resume of somebody who worked on a Mr. Beast video, and okay, sure, put that in there. That name dropping is perfectly legal and perfectly allowed. So yeah, if it's something that actually is very, very popular and well known, definitely include that, because obviously that stands out. But if it's just literally a monthly news roundup that hardly anyone knows, just call it a monthly newsletter. Leverage Python and PowerShell to create new and improve upon existing... Okay, right. That always reads weird to me. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I always get like create new and then to switch to and improve. It's probably just me. It always reads weird to me, but yeah. It is grammatically correct, yeah. Technician Atlantic Games, 2015-2022. Installed Troubleshot. Is Troubleshot? I guess, yeah, Troubleshooted is not the correct term. Well done. And repaired coin-operated loss-free computer systems over 30 locations. Ensured equipment remain constantly available through redundant wired and wireless network connections and regular software and firmware updates. Okay. Conducted all actions in accordance with the rules and regulations of the Georgia Logic Corporation. Yeah, that's good. At some point, you'll probably just remove this section because it'll be completely meaningless. Like, you're in cybersecurity now. Like, at some point, there won't be any... Like, I understand, like, this is quite a long time to be working, so this is nice to have. But, yeah. If this is a future thing, so if you ever start running out of room on your resume, right? Which, you still got half a page here. If you ever start running out of room, this is the first thing to go. Just whoosh, delete it. All right, nobody will care that you worked as a technician at Atlantic Games when you've been a pen tester for like 3 or 4 years, right? Certifications. Cool, okay. This is kind of an interesting one. So the way I do these, there's a time when you don't really need bullet points. Like, if everything is one line only, you kind of don't need bullet points anyway. Like, the bullet points are kind of just implied here. Right? So, let me zoom out. These are all my certs. Obviously, I'm not a cert person, but, like, it's fairly obvious that these are all just one-liners. So, you don't really need the bullet point here, especially if everything's one line. Yeah. You could probably also put, like I have done here, what the awarding body was. That's probably important. Alright, so even though this is all Sans, I would still put Sans. Also, put these in order of date backwards, please. You've got a May 2023 down here amongst all these 2021s. Also, you have December... Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. This one should be here, right? It should be the 3rd. So, like, you've probably... What you've done is you've collected them by awarding body, but you don't need to do that. I would definitely care more that you've got this more recent one. Order them by importance. I mean, honestly, for your job, OSCP should come first then. To be quite honest with you. But I wouldn't even do that. I would just literally put like, you know, Sans like that as just a comma section, and put them in date order. How important is the date you receive the certification? It's pretty important because some certs expire. So obviously, if you have certs that expire, you should definitely put the expiration. For example, the CRTP for me expired last year. The Crest cert expired a couple of years ago. But OffSec and Sans don't expire, so I just put to present. It's good to know that you have... you can still list expired certs, right? So yeah, if none of them expired, I would just put to present. I think that reads nicely. It's still good to put that you had a cert that's expired, because it shows that you at one time got it, and you could probably get it again. GX certs expire after 4 years unless renewed. I may have to look into this one then, because I thought it was I thought this was permanent, but maybe not. Anyway. So yeah. But I would definitely put them in reverse order of when you got them. Because that shows me, like, that just shows me off the bat, I can look at the top, like, 3 and see, okay, these are the last 3 certs this person got. So this is, it also tells me how fresh in your mind the material should be, right? Okay? So if you got your OSCP, like, last year, right, then it should be still fresh in your mind, hopefully. So I would definitely list them in reverse date order. Yeah, but when you got them is really important.
Thank you for following.
Education. So again, education I would probably put before certs. Oh my god. Let's kill this person. How do I block you? Oh, thank you, Medicus. Alright. Master of Science in Cybersecurity, Brown. 2024 to present. Cool. Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, Georgia State University, 2015-2019. That's fine. Okay. Presentations and publications. Lovely. Junior Hacker Playbook, B-Side San Diego. Again, the like here, for example, you've kind of done the thing I was talking about. Like, these are clearly bullet points, right? Because everything's on one line, but you don't need to put bullet points. So here would be the same thing again. These don't need to be bullet points. Okay. You could honestly, if you really want to, you could actually put this twice. For when you did it at B-Sides Nashville and when you did it at B-Sides San Diego. Like, technically, even though that's the same talk, Those are two separate presentations. Those count. Da, 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 da. Okay, so you're in the InfoSec Survival Guide, Volume 2. Cool. Episode 89, Getting My First Job in Cybersecurity. The Your Cyber Path podcast. Cool. Alright. Affiliations. Subject matter expert at Hack the Box since July 2024. Cool, can you do that? How'd you I gotta talk to you about applying for that. Okay, mentor at Blacks in Cybersecurity, OWASP member, volunteer at Walrus hacking, blah blah blah. This is all good. Cool. Cyber Range Kappa Flat competitions. Yeah, these are nice to include. If you, like I said, like this, there's no bad thing like to put. Obviously, at some point you might take this off just because, you know, this is fun stuff to put on your resume, but ultimately, later on in your career, probably becomes slightly meaningless. But yeah, it's all good. I like it. Updated. I don't think you even need this. I understand why it's there, but like I wouldn't even put it. One thing I did notice though, there's no skills section. You could definitely do a skills section. Okay? You could do a skills section. Just, you know, outlining the tools that you like. Obviously you've put some up here, but like this could technically you could list a load more. Like these aren't the skills, these aren't just the tools you've used, right? You could put a skills section. You could put, you know, you could bullshit about communication, teamwork, all that kind of stuff. All those lovely skills. Like the programming languages, you know. You could definitely do that. So a skills section would definitely add something. A little paragraph at the top would add something here. You've got the room to do it. That's the thing. You've got this half a page. You can definitely cut down on some stuff as well. So I would definitely put a skills section. I would definitely put a little, just a paragraph summary at the top like this, right? Just a very small summary. You know, I think that would do good. Overall, though, I like it. How'd you make a skills section not feel buzzwordy, though? I mean, just literally just list the skills. Like, you know, a skills section like this. So I've just listed tools that I use quite a lot. I listed I know the OWASP testing guide. That's pretty important for web app testing. All right, any security guides that you follow or you're aware of are good. All right, code that, you know, like programming, proficient in Python, PHP, Java, able to use various Markov and Stein languages, whatever, you know. Skilled at most mainstream operating systems, blah, blah, blah. Communicates ideas well within a team, etc. Like, none of these are really buzzwordy. Cool. All right. Moving on to Joe. Okay. How many pages is this? Okay, here we go. All right. The first thing we know, we're on 3 pages, and we don't need to be on 3 pages. And you know what I'm gonna say? There's a few things that we can instantly get this down to 2 pages. All right, because this is huge. Firstly, all right, your name does not need to be that big. Also, even though you have done this lovely 2-column, I kind of do like this 2-column thing, right? This 2-column is nice, but then, you know, you can technically just move from a 2-column layout on the first page to a 1-column on the second page, right? Because you've got all this blank space. Look at all this lovely space, right? Lovely amount of space you could do here. Or you could just get rid of the stupid 2-column layout. Not stupid, but you know what I mean. You don't have to have this 2-column. Or potentially, what you could do is move this to the end, like, and you could have 2 columns, but you could have like on the second page, like the bottom here, like after all this, you could have 2 columns where you have like your programming languages here, your certs over here, and then a little section down here for the you know, what was the other thing? The patterns? Yeah. Yeah, we'll come on to patterns. This is interesting. I'm gonna have to talk to you about this. I didn't know you had patterns. That's kind of cool. But yeah, definitely your name is way too big. Okay. And even if it was made smaller, you've got all this white space here that you could like reduce. All right, mess with the margins, right? If you look at everybody's, like, look at all the margins; they're tiny. Okay. That's the thing. Almost all resumes aren't printed these days, so you can make your margins pretty damn tiny. To be honest with you. Okay, experience. Again, we're missing a little summary that you could probably put at the top. That's always good. Los Angeles Director, Disruption Engineering, January 2023 to present. Okay, so we have basically the bullet points again.
Thank you for following.
Developed Disruption Engineering, a program focused on proactive discovery. You could probably just say developed a program focused on proactive discovery. But this is cool. If you're a director, why are you sending me a resume to review? I feel like if you're a director at Yahoo, you don't need to have a resume review from me. I mean, I appreciate it, but this is kind of just funny. All right. These are all nice, quick bullet points. There might be a little too many of them, but you're a director, so I mean, it doesn't really care, right? Career development, blah blah blah. Yeah, these are all really good examples of bullet points. To be honest, I think you could probably do just a little less of them. Also, you could restructure this. Because you're working at the same company 3 times in a row, you don't necessarily need to repeat the company name. You could just, you know, list the job. Okay. Led the Yahoo Red Team. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, all good. Okay, this explains why you have patents. I presume Yahoo are very patent happy. Yeah, I don't really I don't really have notes about this. This is all really cool though. Oh, patents were all from... Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have notes about these are really good bullet points. My only comment would be maybe there's too many bullet points. I mean, but whatever. Also, one thing that can help get your resume down to size, this is actually quite a large font. So, generally speaking, you could go with a smaller font anyway. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the experience section first, and we're going to go back up and do this. Okay, so... Senior software engineer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all this is fine. I would, again, just maybe reduce the number of bullet points here. You've got a very lengthy career as well. So at some point, you might even just want to get rid of these. Like, you worked as a software engineer for 3 months, 4 months. You know, here, and then a year here. Like, at some point, you might just want to, you know... You can keep these on, but then you just, like, literally, like I did, I don't put anything for these. Like, it's kind of obvious what I did. So you might want to do that. That would definitely save some room. Okay, let's go over these. Programming languages. Again, this section's fine. Okay. Does this need capitalization at all? I wonder. You'll have to tell me. You know more about this, but like, is any of this capitalized? If it is, capitalize it. If not, don't worry about it. I believe the S in JavaScript should be capitalized as well. That's just a, you know, that's just me. Certifications, these are all cool. You might, if you if you do put this on the second page as a sort of a, you know, a 2-column layout, you could definitely expand these in terms of which company awards them, and you could do the full name as well. Because that's the thing. At some point, there's probably going to be certs that just happen to have the same name. All right. So at some point, there may be certs that out there that have the same name for different industries. You know, it really depends, even if it's by accident. So having the full cert name listed with then the initialism and then the company that actually gave the cert, that's always useful, I think. Patents, these are cool. I've never seen patents listed on a resume, but I mean, you're a freaking director, so anything I say is really just it's like, take it or leave it. These are cool. I like the fact you've got these. Again, this could just be a section at the bottom. I think it looks, right now, it looks kind of cramped as like a side thing. If you have 2 columns and they're equal width, it would look better, I think. And you could fit, you know, programming languages, then certs, then patents, in sort of like a side by side. I think it would look better generally. All right, education, cool. BA in philosophy, minor in computer science, awesome. Yeah, this doesn't need, I mean, yeah, at this stage in your career, this is almost completely irrelevant. But yeah, it's always nice to have that anyway. Projects, the Intercept, co-founder. Is that? It looks like founder is italicized, but co isn't. I would look into that kind of formatting. For some reason, it looks like, yeah, founder is italicized, but co isn't. Cross-discipline, hardware-focused CTF run at the Layer 1 convention, which teams simulate and intercepting a package containing custom. Okay, this is definitely a run-on sentence. That's too big of a sentence. Too long. Too long. So try and find a way to shrink that down. Make it into 2 sentences instead of just 1. Okay, Shirt, creator and maintainer. Originally developed by Yahoo, a shirt is a tool to collect and manage elements during a red team operation. Allows operators to collaborate and synchronize. If there are links, put links. Link to this. Links are always good. Link to the tool. If you have a link to the tool. What are people talking about? Do not add all jobs last for the 3 to 4. Yeah, I mean, it depends. You can add all the relevant jobs, but you can definitely cut down. You don't have to describe everything you did at every single job. Page break also needs to be worked out. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like, honestly, I wasn't going to comment on that, mostly because if you get rid of the columns on the first page, then this is all going to sort itself out anyway, I feel. But this is cool. All right, good. Yeah. You can probably boost your skills section a bit. Like, you've just listed programming languages, but again, you could add more skills sections. A nice summary, shrink it down. What else? Any talks you've done, I guess? I don't know if you've done talks, but that would be cool to add. But I mean, you're a director. Who gives a shit? Like, like, you're a director at Yahoo. Like, this is this is like, again, this is like, I'm completely out of my wheelhouse right now. This is like, yeah, you don't want to make it longer. I agree, but you could definitely. The thing is, that's what I'm saying. You can make a resume longer by making it shorter. All right, you definitely can shrink the font size down, right? You can definitely. You don't need this to, like. I mean, look at. Like, yes, it is technically the biggest font size on the page. It should be the biggest font size on the page. It doesn't need to be, like, 40 times the size or something, right? Or however many, like, whatever this is. If this is size 16 and this is size, what, 40 or something? I don't know. It doesn't need to be that much bigger. Right? Also, the spaces. Like, there's just a space for no reason. Margins. You could definitely shrink these margins. The top margin, the left, and the right margins. You could definitely shrink them. Again, nobody prints resumes anymore. And if they do, printers do margins perfectly fine anyway. But yeah. There are definitely ways of making this smaller in order to put more stuff on it, for sure. And you should. And when I say you should, you don't need to. You're a director. But if you do want to include more cool stuff, or like all the talks you've done, that's awesome. You can do that. All right. Yeah, it's extremely impressive. You didn't need to ask me. Like this. I mean, this resume got you a directorship at Yahoo. I mean, I guess technically you've been at Yahoo since 2019, but still, this resume presumably got you a job at Yahoo in the first place. So. All right, moving on. Okay. Again, I don't know if the name was missed off because they redacted it. But name should obviously go on a resume, but I'm not going to, I presume what they did was they just redacted this one, so that's fine. Name should always go at the top. This one looks great. Totally not BIOS. I mean, it's not a BIOS, it's a resume, but yeah, okay. That is technically a resume is not a BIOS. I do agree with you. All right. Okay. So this one has a summary. The only thing I would comment on this summary is it's too long. This is a summary, 1 to 3 sentences. This one is like 6 or 7. Also, the font size seems to change at the end here for some reason. Like, am I just seeing things? No, I'm not. That word capture is not the same as that word capture. So you got a font size changing. But in any case, this capture the flag stuff should be down, in like an achievements section or an awards recognition section, stuff like that. So that's fine. Okay, let's actually read this. We got the buzzword bingo going on. Points for buzzword bingo. Highly analytical, resilient, and self-driven cybersecurity leader with 12 plus years of experience. With a focus on... Okay, you've got the word with twice here, which doesn't read well. You got highly analytical, resilient, and self-driven cybersecurity leader with 12 plus years of experience with a focus on penetration testing security. Okay, this sentence is already kind of too long for me. And I feel like the two withs don't help. So what you could do is self-driven cybersecurity leader with 12 plus years of experience focused on penetration testing, security engineering, and vulnerability management. That would shorten it. You don't need this with a, and you don't need with a focus on. You could just do focused on or something, if that makes sense. Naturally, you've mentioned leader twice. You don't need to mention leader twice. I don't know how you could rephrase this, because obviously you're kind of going into this whole ability to transform security culture. I don't think you need to mention leader twice, to be honest. You could put leadership skills down in the skills section. Combine strong technical background with excellent soft skills to easily communicate complex ideas to non-technical stakeholders. That's, yeah, you could probably put that in the skills section as well. Like, communication is always good to harp on about, but that's okay. Excels at recruiting, mentoring, and enabling high-performance security teams. Yeah, that's
Thank
fine.
you for following.
If anything, yeah, I would keep this sentence, the first one, but obviously restructure it a bit so you don't have with twice. I would keep this one, and I would keep this one. And then everything else can be moved down a little bit. Like, you definitely don't need this section. Okay. Professional experience should come before certs. But let's review the certs section. Okay, this is a lot of certs. So yeah, you don't have the date you got the cert. Because there are so many certs here, I do like this way of formatting it. If it was just a long list, like yeah, White Cyberducks 1 is getting to the point where it might need. It's not there yet. But if White Cyberduck gets any more certs, they may want to sort of try and split it up like this. But yeah, I would definitely again maybe put in this case probably don't expand what the whole initialism is, but you could definitely put the company. Like obviously CompTIA is the company, but like OCP is offsex, right? And these are SANs. You could definitely put the company if it's not there, and you could definitely put when you got the cert. Okay? So I would definitely put those. Alright. Otherwise, yeah, this is fine. Like, I like the fact you've formatted it nice. You've made the use of the space, because you can have white space. White space is fine on a resume, okay? My resume has white space, right? But the point is, try and minimize the white space as much as possible, all right? If it makes sense, like, for example, here, like, if you can't avoid it, fine. But if you can potentially avoid it, try and avoid it. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, Coalfire Federal. Remote, June 2022 to present, senior consultant, penetration testing. Okay, you know what I'm going to say. These possibly slightly too long, but we're at the edge. They seem to be okay. Lead and performed in teams of cybersecurity specialists who excel in penetration testing and vulnerability. I don't think you need to write that you're... It's you who excel. You could put like something like led and excelled in a team. What's a good thing? You get what I'm saying? There's like a way of you don't need to. I don't think you need to put cybersecurity specialists in here. You can sort of reword it and make it that, yeah, clearly you want to put the fact that you led a team in there. That's good, and that you excelled in penetration testing. I think that's good, but I feel like you don't need to. You can make this more about you and less about the team. To ensure compliance across several federal agencies. Okay. Improved client cyber posture by conducting end-to-end security. Okay, you've got an end-to-end security assessments. That makes no sense because an end-to-end security assessment and means one, singular, and assessments is multiple. So you don't need the word and here. You could do by conducting end-to-end security assessments. If there was multiple, which I assume there were. You don't need the word and. Focused on network, web app, and API. I don't think network needs to be capitalized. I don't think web app needs to be capitalized. API definitely does. Cloud doesn't. And cloud being capitalized maybe, I don't know. These definitely do. And social engineering. Okay, fine. Oversaw the creation of Pondocs AWS Gov Cloud instance to automate redundant manual security tasks. That when deployed, streamlined reporting activities by 50%. I feel like there's a better way of phrasing this last section. I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like there's an easier way of saying that, I feel like. Try and reword it. Sounds like they're trying to say the teams excel because they're being... Yeah, that's okay, but I think that there's probably a better way of... Like, that's the thing. There might be a better way of rephrasing that if you... Like, I'm not going to try and rewrite the resume for you right now, but, like, I feel like there are better ways of wording it to get the point across. Like, right now, it doesn't read... It's not super obvious. Like, you want to... I'm trying to say, you want to make it clear that you were the reason they excelled, I think. Okay. Influence and collaboratively deploy new strategies. Okay, so here's another thing that I probably didn't mention before. If you're going to speak in a specific tense, stick to the tense. Right now, here, you've got... This is past tense, which is fine. Improved is past tense. Oversaw is technically past tense. And now you've got influence. And collaboratively deploy, which is present tense. And then you switch back to past. This should be past tense. It's fine. You can do it either way. It doesn't matter. If you want to do... If it sounds better in present tense than it does in past tense, put it in present tense. But stick to a tense. So, for sure, this needs to be influenced and collaboratively deployed new strategies to adapt to changing security and business needs. Yeah. The first bullet is actually using... But it is, but then performed makes it clear that it's... Actually, is it... Actually, yeah, true. Is it led... Oh yeah, LED is the correct way to spell the past tense of LED. There we go, yeah. So this should also be LED, like Luna says. That is true. Well done. Good catch there. Yeah, so LED is technically LED, the past tense. Because you obviously are in the past tense here, because performed. Okay. This is all fine. Yeah, so basically just kind of maybe a little bit rewording. And obviously sticking to a tense. Again, LED here. Wait, LED performed security assessments? Yeah, this makes no sense. You've missed an and here. So you need an and. For the Air Force and NSA, applied emerging technologies to exploit vulnerabilities in systems and networks. Okay. Designed and implemented novel attack vector reconnaissance enumeration and footprinting strategy. Have a look. I think footprinting might be okay as one word, not hyphenated, but I might be wrong about that. Implemented fuzzing techniques using the randomizer mutator and BlueFuzz to find new vulnerabilities in tested software and systems, such as cross-domain solutions. That kind of feels like it's going on too much. Are these public? I feel like BlueFuzz might be a Booz Allen. If these are public, then sure. But if they're not, I would not mention them. Is cross-domain solutions a Booz Allen specific thing? If not, I wouldn't mention it. Like, you could just say, find new vulnerabilities in tested software and systems. You don't really need a such as there. Analyze and maintain dashboards to prioritize, drive, and resolve critical and high vulnerabilities with the appropriate stakeholders. Okay, provided penetration testing support for the Navy. Red team. You probably don't even... That's the thing, unless you've used Navy OTF somewhere else in here, and I don't know, you probably don't need to... You could probably just call it this. So you could just do provided penetration testing support for the Naval Operational Test and Evaluation Force Red Team. You might even, to be honest, unless this is specifically important, you might not even want to include that. Because obviously we're getting, like, the bullet points are generally fine here. That most of them are short enough, but, like, you're getting to the point where you've got, what, 7? Develop PowerShell scripts to automate testing procedures for over 800 NIST 853 security controls that, when implemented, reduced human intervention by 95%. Again, you could try and work this in to the start, but yeah, it is what it is. It's okay. All right, NCI Information Systems, Rome, New York, System Administration. Is this a job role, or were you a system administrator? Like, because you've got that you're a consultant, and you've got that you're an associate, but then you've got just system administration, which is generally the job role as administrator. So I would just question that. You've got lead spelt right here. That's good. All right. Ensured secure configurations on Windows and VMware. Safeguarding data integrity and compliance standards. Okay. Lead operations and maintenance of system management products and services on classified networks. Okay. Work closely with contract and government staff to enhance enterprise systems and services, including Active Directory tiers. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. At some point, you might just want to remove, like at this point, you're penetration testing since 2019. Like, if you're going for jobs in penetration testing, nobody cares about this. Like, you could easily move some of this. Like, just keep the stuff that's, like, you think is kind of cool and relevant, but you don't really need to list all this. Like, it's long ago enough. Like, this, you've been a pen tester for, what, 5 years, basically? So, you know, unless you're trying to get back into system administrating, you're fine. Education, Western Governors University, remote, BS in cloud computing, 2023. Is this when you graduated? Or is this when you started? This is what I would say. This is why I prefer my method of doing it. Just because it's very clear when I started, when I graduated. It doesn't leave me guessing, you know. So I would put the year you started, the year you graduated. If you got, I don't know how they do it in the US actually. If you get like a rating in the UK, I got distinction for my MSc, which is the highest you can get in an MSc, and in the BSc I got first class honors. So I just put, this is like my graduating mark basically. I think there are for some degrees in America, right? Okay. Skills, programming languages, Bash scripting, PowerShell, and Python. Okay, that's fine. I would potentially put PowerShell and Python before Bash. Just because Bash scripting is, yeah, I mean, it is technically a programming language, but you know, it's kind of it's one of those kind of funny ones, right? Software and tools. Okay, all good. You could potentially separate some of these out into different categories, right? Like, you've got a bunch of like hacking tools here, which is great. But you could, if you want to, make this section longer by separating it out, putting multiple tools there. Operating systems, good, lovely. Okay. So you could definitely put some, obviously some of these skills, like leadership skills, definitely down here in skills, right? And teamwork, communication, all good. I haven't seen, if you have any talks, if you have any projects, like GitHub links, always put those. Those are always good as well. Although, yeah, I like it. It's good. What else? Anything else missing? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You have room to expand here. That's the point. I like the formatting. I think it's good. You haven't wasted space. So, yeah. Overall, good. I just think some of these sentences could be readjusted a little bit, shortened a little bit, and obviously just you know, yeah, leave this in for now. You've got space. You can definitely afford to keep all this here, but at some point you'll probably want to remove this. Okay. Did I miss anything? I'm just comparing it to mine. Again, like, projects and interests are always fun, right? Because, you know, you can list stuff like that. And awards, if you have any. Okay. Right. Last resume. Luna. Who is in chat and has been very patient. Okay, cool. So, yeah, the first thing, obviously, is the summary, as I was going to say. Always nice to have a little summary at the top. Employment. We've been calling it employment. I feel like experience is a better word than employment, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, work experience, employment is the same thing. I think experience is a nicer word because obviously, if you haven't got employment experience yet, you can put other kinds of experience down. But employment experience, absolutely fine. Okay, U.S. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, contracted through Iron Vine Security and Jacobs. You probably don't need to mention the contractor. You could probably just put contractor. Incident Management Team Lead, IO DevOps Team Lead. Okay. Is this like you have two roles at the same time, or are these different? Were they two separate jobs? I know it's 3 pages. I just interviewed a place that wanted me to add the third role. Oh, okay. All right, I was going to say. Well, you definitely don't need your We'll mention that again, but yeah, you don't need your name at the top of each page. Okay. 2 different teams. All right, at the same time. Cool. February 2020 to February 2023. Nice. You probably don't need to indent this. Like, you have this... That just strikes me as a... Obviously, the bullet points are always indented slightly. You probably don't need to indent this so much. Because it almost looks like it's double indented. But, you know, whatever. Coordinated agency-level response to high severity security and privacy incidents, including Log4j and SolarWinds. Cool. Led, centralized, and matured instance. See, we know Luna knows how to spell led. Led, centralized, and matured. Incident response procedures among security teams in alignment with NIST standards. Fine. Designed and facilitated tabletop exercises for technical and non-technical audiences to target a broad range of applications and business functions. Good. Yeah, these are good bullet points. These are exactly the length that bullet points should be. So those are all good. Managed a team of incident coordinators and filled operational gaps as needed to ensure the team's ability to meet mission-critical objectives and service level agreement. That's borderline getting too long and a little bit wordy. Okay, incident response development project. Led initiative to enhance program-wide IR procedure automation documentation capabilities through ServiceNow. Manage an agile team of developers, business analysts, and others on project lifecycle. Filled operational skill gaps. Okay, yep. That's all good. Yeah, my only note is if it's getting slightly long, you could probably reword a few things, but all good. We are obviously, since there are 2 roles, the kind of like standard whole 3 to 5 bullet points rule doesn't really apply here. You've got 4 for this role, you've got 3 for this. You're good. Magpie Games, tabletop RPG publisher. Okay, so obviously, yeah, if you... Was this for... Obviously, I don't know the job you were going for. But if you're going for another IR role, you probably don't need to be as verbose here with what you did at Magpie Games, I guess. Especially if it had nothing to do with IR. If you're going for a more managing role, obviously, and this is a director role, that probably does make sense, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, always modify your resume. Like, as a general tip for anyone, modify your resume to the job you're applying to. right? If at some point, for example, like if I was applying for a managerial role, and like during this, when I was a senior pen tester back here, I did managing stuff. I did do some management, so I would definitely add some. Hey, I managed a team back here, right? Compile comprehensive guides. Okay. You could probably separate this into 2 bullet points if you needed to. This like there's two achievements here, and they are not really related to each other, so you could definitely separate them out. Okay, all good. New York Life, employed by insurance agent, administrative assistant. Okay, so this is why you put this one back in, because this was more of a cyber kind of related role, I guess, given that you did OSINT stuff. Is that why you had to put this back in? These bullet points are definitely probably slightly too long. You could probably expand a few of these and make more bullet points, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said before, like if you're printing this, it might be good to have it at the top, but you really don't need your name repeated. It shows how you deal with the insurance. Oh, okay, all right, that's fine then. Projects and accomplishments. Okay, yeah. So there's. This is personal preference. I would put an ampersand here instead of just a plus. It's literally just a personal thing. If you, I mean, does it matter? No. Am I being nitpicky? Yes, but that's what people want me to do. So I would put an ampersand. I think ampersand looks better. Okay. Live performance VJ. Thank you, Bike K, for the subscription Prime. And we hit a goal. Which means we need to do a new one. Start a new goal. There we go. Personally hate ampersands. I love ampersands. Ampersands are great. Ampersands are one of my favorite forms of punctuation. My favorite is mostly because it's the greatest named one, is the interrobang. If your favorite punctuation mark isn't the interrobang, it needs to be. The interrobang firstly has the most hilarious name of a punctuation mark, but it's also awesome because it's an exclamation point and a question mark in one. Yes, no longer do you need to do question mark exclamation point. You can just have one character. It's literally called an interrobang. This is the greatest punctuation mark in history. Anyway, before we forget, so we're going to take a pause because before I forget, we need to do the giveaway, which is a marbles giveaway. We'll do a community map. We'll do a random community map. We'll do this one. Oh, I should have probably checked the... Never seen Interrobang? Interrobang is amazing. Okay, 3 minutes. I'll tell you the only reason I know about the Interrobang, right? The only reason I know about
Thank
the
you for
Interrobang
following.
is... Here we go. Oh, God, come on. There was a book in my youth. Alright. So obviously Harry Potter came out in my youth. I read Harry Potter, but I'm a big fan of parodies. There was an amazing parody called Barry Trotter. And it's called Barry Trotter and the Unauthorized Parody. There was also a sequel. But basically, instead of a lightning scar, Barry Trotter had an interrobang. Which I thought is awesome. So this is a great book, by the way. If you haven't read Barry Trotter and the Unauthorized Parody, I think the sequel was called Barry Trotter and the Unnecessary Sequel. Freaking brilliant. Absolutely insanely funny. But yes, he has an interrobang scar. That is the only reason I know about the interrobang, and I'm so glad that the author decided to make more people aware of the amazingness of the interrobang. Anyway, exclamation point play in chat if you want to play. In Twitch chat, by the way. And now, yes, my mission in life, to make more people aware of the interrobang. Reminds me of National Lampoon's doing. Yeah, like, this guy writes, like, parody books for a living. Like, at least he did. I don't know what he does now, but... so, yeah, like, I feel like a lot of people are, a lot of parody authors, are kind of inspired by those guys. Alright, exclamation point play. This is for a giveaway, by the way. I should make an interrobang emote, shouldn't I? Alright. There are 2 holes for people to find. Who's going to find... Oh, I think it was the artwork. The art of... Well, I say the artwork. The Art of War 26 found the first hole. Alright. Oh, God. And Havex found the second. Alright. Your only emotes should be Maticus and Maximum. True. Alright. Alright, Advert Man. Is there an ASCII code to basically... I mean, that... Well, it's not an ASCII code, firstly. Because ASCII is... technically, ASCII is only the 128 characters. You mean Unicode? There's definitely Unicode. It's definitely in the Unicode library. It is definitely not in ASCII. Syntax might... Oh, hang on. It's hard to tell who is actually in first place here, I think. Technically speaking, Advertman, NanoJ, and Syntax are all at the same time. Okay, but NanoJ, and Syntax have taken the lead. Syntax now. Does the game play itself? Yes, it does. You can use boosters. Yes. If you type exclamation point boost in chat, you get your marble may get a boost. Or it may do absolutely nothing. Who knows? Alright, well, it looks like Believe is in first place. And I don't know if they can be overtaken at this point because it's a one-track thing. But actually, this is a... Oh, no! Oh, my goodness. Utterly destroyed. And now, Advert Man and D-Blaze are going very slowly around whatever this thing is. Okay, Advert Man is definitely the favorite to win. D-Blaze, Nano J, myself as well. Very close behind. Is all going to depend. Oh! Advert Man hit one of the bumpers. Is that going to affect their trajectory? Oh my goodness! I just went down the hole. I won it, chat. We know what that means.
It was rigged. I don't give a shit about your opinion. Get fucked.
Oh yeah. I won. Which means the voucher gets doubled. The question is, do we re-race or do we just give it to Nano
Oh god,
J?
what is
I feel
this,
like we should just give it
Tiberius?
to Nano J. I'm going to give it to Nano J. Nano J, you get a 2-month voucher of your choice to either hack the box, try Hackney or Pentester Labs. Let me know which one you want. Hack the box. Alright, not a problem. Alright, Nano J, spelled it right. Look at that epic win. Alright, perfect. Let's get back to the hacks. Okay. Alright. Project and accomplishments. Live performance VJ. VJ, what is a VJ? Visuals along... I'm guessing, yeah, it's a form of visual DJing? Never actually heard the term before. That's kind of cool. So this is interesting. This, I would feel like, if it's not really related to the job you're applying to, it could probably just be put as a kind of like a... in your, like, hobbies section, I guess. Electronic badges, okay. Home network and IoT, all good. Yeah, that's good. You probably don't need to put that you did this, you know, with whoever you live with. Just, you know, just keep it simple. Like nobody's gonna check. Nobody is gonna check to make sure your home network. Like if you, I built a home network, and like they're not gonna demand that you prove that you did it yourself. So that's all good. But again, if this like this reads too much like a job. I mean, a job you define long and short-term objectives for a home network, for like a network. You don't really do that when you're building your own network. Like, I get it, but yeah, I would sort of fail. Don't worry. I would put this more as just explain what you did. That was kind of the point. Well, yeah, no, but it's a project. I think I don't know. For me, this doesn't read like it was just a home project. Cool. Okay, contests and challenges. Okay, sounds like the hack challenge. Participant. If you placed well, then you could obviously put that if there was a placement. Crypto challenge 2022 winner. Awesome. Well done. OCP voucher contest runner-up submitted by Mubix. Sorry. Cool. Pick on crypto challenge 2017 winner. First solve. Nice. Talks and presentations. Awesome. You could probably put this as a separate section on its own. Like projects and accomplishments. This is all great. You could probably put talks and presentations in its own like master section, right? But this is good. Don't mind the gap. How a year of unemployment has been the toughest part of my career. That's cool. Obsec for sex ops. Okay. I kind of want to read that. Obsec and risk acceptance bonding when managing multiple aliases online and off DC 20201 special event. What the fuck is WF? I love I love people who can come up with really fun fucking names for talks. I'm terrible at it. I love these names. Like WTF is WFH is an awesome name for a talk. Okay. Cool. Privsec for the rest of us? Okay, okay. I'm too used to Privesc, so I read that wrong. Cool. Awesome. Skills and education. So again, education I would definitely put more like right after the jobs as like its own section. Oh, hang on. Okay. If you don't have any degrees, then ignore me. Yeah. Okay. I would just remove education then from this completely. Just have skills. You could potentially put training as a separate section. Right? So you'd have a skills section and a training section, or a certification section or something if you have certs for this. Would be cool. Okay, instant identification, triage management, OSID package analysis, blah blah blah. Cool. Experience with virtual machines contains change management. Programming. You don't need to specify script. Like, there are people who argue programming languages and scripting languages are different. They're really not. All scripting languages are programming languages. Just call them programming languages. Nobody gives a fuck. Capable and familiar, I don't know. I guess capable versus familiar, they seem very similar, but yeah, I would proficient, I guess, maybe is better than capable. But familiar with Python, YAML, and PowerShell, okay. Yeah, I don't like the word capable. I don't know why, I just don't like it. And to be honest, you don't really need to say how well you know these languages unless you really, like, absolutely don't know them. Maybe too passive. Yeah, maybe. Like, for example, I think I put something... I, put proficient in Python, PHP, and Java with limited experience in Ruby and JavaScript. I would just say proficient in Bash. Proficient's one of those words where it doesn't mean, like, you know the entire language, but it means, hey, you're perfectly capable of doing it, right? You're using the word capable without using the word capable. I would say proficient with Bash. I would put, like, some experience with Python or something. Based on advice from Jason Blanchard. Okay, I mean, yeah. Well, this is the thing. There are no real rules about this. I don't know why I don't like the word capable. I think, yeah, too passive more. Proficient, I think, is better, but that's the thing. I think we all look for different things. Because you've used proficient here as well. One thing I would comment on this section, you obviously have like subheadings, which is fine, but then you have like a mixture of stuff that doesn't have subheadings and stuff that does. Like, I'm just wondering if there's a nicer way to do this, because you interchange, like, yeah, I'm not sure if there's a better way of doing it. But capable is different from proficient. Possibly, but the thing is, does it really matter? Like, I feel like proficient doesn't necessarily mean you're an expert. Proficient just means you can use it. Whereas I feel like capable honestly means it kind of like gives a sense of I'm kind of unsure. And you don't really want to do that in a resume. Like, even if you are unsure of something, you... If that makes sense? I don't know. I feel like capable just is the wrong kind of... It gives the wrong context. Yeah, like, it might be that you put all the non-categorized ones first, and then you have the categorized ones. That's fine to do. So maybe just move this one up to here after this bullet point. Okay, this is fine. And then, yeah, training stuff. Like, if there are any certs, I don't know if this was just certs or things. Put the dates as well when you did these, if you can remember. I would put the dates in chat. In chat. I would put the dates that you did these trainings. But yeah, you could definitely get this onto 2 pages. Honestly, if anything, you could just shrink the font size. Right? You could, like, restructuring it, like, you don't need to indent this all the way. You could remove this indentation. You could reduce the font size a little bit. You could summarize some more of these longer bullet points, right? You can summarize them a bit more. You can take out some of the stuff that's not necessarily, you know, related to the job you're applying to. But yeah, I overall I like it. Personal summary should be at the top as well, but yeah, I don't think there's anything missing. I can't think of anything you've missed other than the summary. But yeah. Cool. We should definitely do this again. This was fun. Hopefully it was, it got, I don't know, it was useful for people. I think for sure, like, I don't know. Oh, God. I don't want to do that. Cancel. Was I hired? I mean, I don't have any roles, so I'm not hiring anyone, but... yeah, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a professional resume person. I just have, you know, one that has worked for me for many, many years. Next review, I don't know, we might do one next week. Because I have a lot of people who want to do them. I just know what people look for. I know the kind of words that you can use. And yeah. I think that's the thing. Making it nice and easy to read, including specific content, crafting it towards the job instead of just being a complete summary of your entire career. You don't need to summarize your career. Am I going to Defcon? Not only am I going to Defcon, I am running 2 contests at Defcon. And I only realized the other day I technically am getting into Defcon for free. I've actually got 5 people, including myself, into Defcon for free. Because I didn't realize if you run an official Defcon contest, you get a free badge. So I need to get a refund on my pre-reg, because yeah. So that's pretty awesome. So hopefully, if I keep running the contest at Defcon, I'll be able to get free people in for free every year, which is nice. That should be fun. Obviously, they have to help me out with the contest, and they're being very helpful in that respect. But yeah. Yes, I will be at Defcon. I'm running a contest on the Friday, I believe at 12 p.m., which is called Man Pages. All right, it's a pun. It's basically it's a group quiz, team quiz show, so you can come come with up to 3 people. All right, teams of 4, maximum of 4. You can come on your own, find some friends. You can come on your own and compete on your own if you really want to. All right, we'd prefer if you made a team. But it's a team quiz show about man pages. It's how well do you know your man pages? I can promise it's going to be hilariously fun. All right, it's not going to be super difficult. Okay, obviously some of the questions are going to be ridiculously difficult because we have to separate the winners from the losers somehow. But if you've done any kind of work with terminal-based applications, software, whatever, you should be able to answer some of the questions. All right, don't worry about it, and bring a team because obviously that'll be better. And then on Saturday, I believe 7 p.m. Before Hacker Jeopardy, we're running Feet Feud. I'll probably go back to my webcam, shouldn't I? Yeah, we're running Feet Feud, which is Hacker Family Feud. I should probably post the link in chat to the form in case people haven't filled it out, because we have got over 100 submissions now, but I would love to have more than 200. That's really what we want. Where's Hacker Family Feud? There we go. Copy. Oh, I'm going to paste it in the chat. Is it before or after Jeopardy? It's before Jeopardy. So it's actually in the same room as Hacker Jeopardy. I don't know if they're just going to allow people to stay in the room. I don't know how that works. But you should definitely come and watch. Because Feet Feud is between 2 teams of 5. The team leaders are already pre-chosen. So there will be 8 people from the audience participating. If you want to participate, do not fill out the form that I just linked. Or if you want a chance, I should say if you want a chance at participating, don't fill out the form. But if you don't want to be up on the stage, if you don't want to play the game, if you just want to watch, or if you're not even going to Defcon, please fill out the form. There's I think there's 12 survey questions. Just please answer them as best as you can. You don't have to answer every single one. Obviously, please try and do that, but it takes 5 minutes, if that. I would love people to submit that, and obviously share it as well to anyone that you think would have a blast filling out the form. Share it at work, share it with your friend groups on social media, etc. Because the more responses we get, the better the game is going to be. Okay, we've played it technically unofficially the last 2 years at DEF CON. It's been hilarious. It's always funny because it's like regular Family Feud. People think that an answer is going to be common, and it's totally not going to be, and then people get annoyed when the answers are just completely off the wall, which is, always good. But yeah. Okay. Luna and I are going to be performing. Oh, cool. When? When and where? Let me know. Is it at one of the parties? I'll try and my schedule is already filling up for DEF CON. It's kind of insane, but all the time and everywhere. Well, give me specific. I would love to meet up with you guys. The reason I go to DEF CON is to meet up with people and hang out and have fun. And just meet. I like meeting as many people as possible. I also I'm going to bring my my CEH book for people to sign. Let me see if I can get. Yeah, here we go. So this, so I won this at ShmooCon, and it's a stupid, it was a bogus prize, But I decided to make it into something and got a bunch of hackers to sign it. Obviously, you know, you don't just sign it using your fake names or whatever. But yeah, this I'm taking it to every hacker conference, and I'm getting as many hackers as I can to sign it, because you know it'd be fun. So got a lot of good people on here. I believe on this page, yeah, we've got Ray Redacted over here, but Jake Williams, TJ Null. I believe, yeah, this is Jack Rysider or Resider. So got a bunch of cool people. This is my first Defcon. I have no idea what it'll be like or what to do. I have the exact video that you need. Let me find that video for you. There's the video. It's my 10 tips for Defcon newbies. Some of them are basically like stuff like, you know, book the hotel early, but like you can't really now. But yeah, a lot of them are, you know, stuff to do, or you know, make sure you pack. Make sure you don't overpack, because you'll probably be returning with more stuff than you took. Yeah. Blue and I were on stage for that ShmooCon contest. Oh, cool. You did the music questions. That's awesome. So, actually, that was Shmoofak, right? Shmoofak inspired the Man Pages contest. So, it inspired it in the format. The format is going to be very similar. So, like, teams with, you know, 5 questions per round, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was literally at when I was doing Shmoofak, and having so much fun that I was like, you know what? This is a really cool quiz format. I could probably make a quiz and do like and submit to Defcon. So Shmoofak, I've already talked to Lintile. I told him literally Shmoofak was like the inspiration for Man Pages in terms of the format. The format was really fun. So I hope a lot of people enjoy it. And that's, yeah, honestly the biggest thing is to that's why I have a team of like 5 people who are going to help me run the damn thing, because marking everyone's answers is going to be annoying. But yeah, well, you have a Linsal emote, nice. That's fun. Yeah, I love Lintile. Lintile, I believe, signed my book as well. Okay, any other questions before we find someone to raid? So yeah, please come and play Man Pages, especially since you guys don't get to play Shmoofak. Yes, drink. Well, I have a water bottle. So here's another thing. I believe, and I'm not sure if this has been confirmed by Defcon. So the new venue, I believe, does not let you take third-party water and drink into the venue. However, they have water stations inside the venue. So what you should do is get an empty water bottle and bring it, and then refill it while you're inside. I don't think that's been confirmed yet. I'm not sure if there's something iffy, but since I'm involved in the organization this year, that is what I believe to be the case. Do you recommend OSWE or a cloud cert? OSWE is a code review cert. It's a web app code review cert. So let's just get one thing clear. If you're a web app pen tester, the OSWE is not a web app pen testing cert. It is a web app code review cert. And there is a huge difference, because in most web app testing you don't get access to the source code. Does it teach some cool exploit stuff? Yes, absolutely. But the skills you'll learn on that course are not like a one-to-one kind of thing with pen testing. That's why I haven't got it. That's why I don't really want to get it, because To be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to learn anything that I'm going to be able to use in my career. There are better web app certs out there, for sure. Cloud certs, if you're interested in cloud testing, that's the thing. Like, if you've just got OSCP, and, you know, try and find a junior pen test job, as a junior pen tester, try and do as much varied stuff as possible, like web app stuff, internal stuff, cloud stuff, external, mobile, thick client, you know, and then, oh god, what was that? Oh well. And then, yeah, then you can specialize, and you can decide, hey, I like doing this, and then you can, you know, look into other certs. But if you like cloud stuff, don't do a cloud cert. Typical Defcon experience: walk 10 miles per day, don't sleep, forget to drink water, forget to eat, get home, get sick, blame non-con crud. Yeah, true. On which platform am I streaming? I am streaming on multiple platforms. The chat on the screen is from all of them combined. I'm streaming on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Any other questions? Let's see who's streaming. Nobody. At least nobody on InfoSec streams. Let's see if I go to Twitter. Anyone streaming? Paleontologizing went live. Anyone? Yeah, not many people actually. Anyone specific you guys want to raid? What do I use to edit my YouTube videos? It depends on the YouTube video. But generally speaking, what I'll use is Descript. So I use Descript to cut out, to cut the videos, and then I export to a DaVinci Resolve timeline, and then I do the visual effects and transitions and stuff in DaVinci Resolve. So most of my more recent, actually all of my more recent YouTube videos were all edited in Descript to, so especially the interviews are great. So because I learned, apparently if you attach a subtitle file to YouTube videos, there's some reason they get recommended more or something. And yeah, so Descript is great because it automatically transcribes the videos for you. So it automatically transcribes. It also makes editing out like ums and ahs and pauses really easy. It's better than just doing constant cutting. And then what you can do is you can export those. You can export those sort of cuts that it makes automatically into a DaVinci Resolve file, and then you can just edit that, which is really nice. So that's what I do. But yeah. All right. Anyone got any suggestions for who to raid? Otherwise, we'll just do paleontologizing, I guess. Unless there's anyone else in... Anyone else in software development that's streaming that we should go and see? No suggestions in chat? Missed it, darn, next Monday. Well, you can always watch the recording, but yeah. Monday, All the streams I have are DJs. That figures. We'll just raid paleontologizing. Screw it. Fun channel to raid. All right. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I'll be back on Wednesday. We're going to finally finish the mission room. I got told by Adam, by the way. I was correct. There was a bug in the room. It has been fixed. So yes, we will definitely be able to fix. We weren't wrong. We didn't have to learn some obscure Git syntax. The room was just broken. So yeah, we'll go over that on Wednesday. But yeah, on the screen on my socials, please follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and obviously give me a follow on Twitch if you're not already following me. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sub Mentoring Monday. We'll definitely do this kind of stream again. And yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. If not, have a great rest of the week. And say hello to paleontologizing for me. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.